Let's talk about missions. Let's walk you through what God is doing in our ministry. Journey with us to the mission fields. Allow us saturate your mind and hearts. Get up and close with our close to 2,000 missionaries serving in over 1,600 mission fields in 19 countries across the world. Let us share with you the challenges we face and the victories we've made through the power of God. Let us take you inside EMS.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to Inside EMS on Equa TV. My name is Bature Habila and today is another exciting episode of the program. Before we go into what we have for you today on Inside EMS, we're going to go on a short break. Stay tuned.
Here is the master's call. Go ye into the world. There's always something you can do that is precious in His eyes. We are the righteousness of Christ. Since we believe in Him, we will preach the gospel in season and out of season. We go in faith, prayer, and action. This is the Father's heart, that everyone will be saved. The love He has shown is the love we will show to the world in every way. It's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go in faith, prayer and action. It's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go in faith, prayer and action. Young and old, whoever you are, this is a call on every one of us. You can give your widow's mite to support the work of the kingdom. Shine the light in everything you do. We are the righteousness of Christ. Since we believe in Him, we will preach the gospel in season and out of season. We go in faith, prayer, and action. This is the Father's heart, that everyone will be saved. The love He has shown is the love we will show to the world in every way. It's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go in faith, prayer and action. It's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go in faith, prayer and action. Here is the master's call. Go ye into the world. There's always something you can do that is precious in His eyes.
Welcome back from the break. I'm in the studio with Mr. Peter Ilya, who is the EMS Project and Crisis Relief Officer. He's going to be telling us about the important work he's spearheading in the EMS of Ekwa. Welcome, Mr. Peter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abila.
So, can you tell us about the EMS Project and Crisis Relief? What is it all about and what do you do?
Thank you so much for asking. The Project and Crisis Relief Office, like you rightly mentioned, is in charge of providing humanitarian support to Christians who are suffering persecution in different parts of the country. So what we do is to see how we can not just pray for these believers who are suffering, but also provide assistance of various forms, ranging from food and clothing support to helping them to rebuild their homes, and also helping the farmers in those communities with fertilizer and other things that would help them to go back to work and get their lives back. And we also provide some special support for children who were orphaned by the insurgency, and also help the widows, with trainings, and also maybe startup capitals for those who are interested in businesses. Just anything that will help them to start life afresh, build their economic base, and just find ways of supporting themselves and the families after the losses they must have suffered as a result of the crisis. So my work primarily is to help those people. First, we begin by gathering reports of these insurgencies or attacks that have happened, going to the field to see what has happened, and then take record of the needs. We call that the needs assessment, and see how we can come alongside the people to help them in all of the ways that we can. So my work also has to do with identifying those who are in dire need of this support, and then communicating with our partners from within the country and also outside to raise support for these people. We also go back to monitor and evaluate the impacts of the support that we have provided, and basically those are the things I do.
Wow, that's quite an interesting work that you've been doing. Let's have a glimpse of what you did in Bokos and also in Higwe.
Hey, gentlemen, ladies, we are right in the center of a Follow village where Christians were attacked here and practically destroyed. You can see these are food items. I don't know if you can see the picture here. This is corn. You can see a part of this. All this, how these rooms were like a store for corn, and they were destroyed. Many houses were burned in the other side of the village. And today we are only coming to help them because foods have been destroyed. And part of our work at EMS of Ekwa is just to help people get food. People are living in their conditions, lost families, lost homes, lost loved ones, and it's such a pack. It is just one example. I think we will show you more, and that practically, and it's a special target. They may not. When people scatter out of the houses, you can see some of these houses are not touched because people scatter out, but they target food areas so that people can be pressured into abandoning Christ. So, but we are glad to be here today and share what we have to share. It's not enough, but what little we bring with your support is what we can do, and we really appreciate all those of you who donated to make this possible.
We have gone around this community in Riom local government area. This is one of the communities that have been attacked multiple times. We gathered that this should be the fourth or fifth time that this community is attacked and burnt. This last time that the Fulani herdsmen came here, they burnt down every single house. No home was spared, and 11 people were killed and so many others were injured. But we're grateful to God that the people have taken a bold step to stay back and stand back and defend their lands, their territorial homes against these invaders. And we have seen how our little support of food stuff has been a great source of encouragement and support to the people. At least they are encouraged. They believe that there are people out there who are praying for them, who care about them, and who have them in their minds. And this has actually boosted their morale to stay back, you know, and to rebuild their community. We're trusting God that as God opens more doors, we'll be back here to see how we can, together with the community, put up these destroyed structures back in place so that the people can stay back. We sincerely appreciate HMK for their generous support to see that we are not only putting smiles on the faces of these people, but we are fostering the gospel and we are raising the banner of Jesus, and people are being encouraged and you know, built up in their faith to keep coming close to Jesus. So thank you so much, HMK, and thank you so much to EMS for being the vessel through which this support would come. May God bless you.
That was the clip from the intervention by the EMS Project and Crisis Relief Office in Bokos and Igwe communities. So, Mr. Peter, can you tell us more about the widows' support that you are involved in?
Yeah, so as the name implies, the widows' support caters for women who were widowed as a result of these attacks. So, of course, we are all aware of what's happening, and we've seen countless women who have been left without husbands after the attack. So these women have a large family to cater for. And yes, many of them are farmers before the demise of their husbands, but a large part of them are also full-time housewives. And so the burden of taking care of the family now rests on their shoulders. So we have thought about how do we support these women so that they will in turn be a sort of backbone for the family, and that's the brain behind the widow support. So usually we identify women who have or who are in dire need, who are really in serious trouble and cannot do anything to support themselves and their families. So we make it open to them to decide on what they think they can do. For some of them, they may just continue with what they are used to. If they are farmers, okay, but for some, they may be willing to learn new skills and go through trainings. What happened in Miango, which is one of the places where we have provided women support or widow support, is we identify some of these women, and they said they are interested in learning tailoring. Some of them had even started some years before the attack or something like that, and so we paid for their full training. We have some partners within those communities who are willing to work alongside us to help these women. So we paid for their full training. I think it was 1 year and 6 months. And so after the training, those who stood out, you know, we provided sewing machines for them. So from the clip that we're going to show to our viewers, you'll see some of these women with the sewing machines that they got.
Let's go to the clip to see some of these widow support interventions by EMS.
Was a very bad year for the people of Miango in Basa local government area of Plateau State, where countless communities were sacked, close to 1,000 people were killed, and over 10,000 households were destroyed, 15 hectares of land completely destroyed too. So that has reduced the people of Miango land to lack and penury, and the attacks also left a lot of widows.
The purpose of our being here today is to celebrate the graduation of widows that lost their husbands as a result of crisis here in Miango, DCC.
So in a bid to resettle these people and also give the women a sense of hope and also provide a means of livelihood for them, we decided to pick some of the women and take them through skill acquisition.
So I always encourage them to be faithful and to always be present so that they will learn the skill to be useful for themselves and for the entire community and to provide food for themselves to their table.
During the training, what I learned from them is that they are really humble because they were ready to learn. Despite with the difficulties they're having in their family, they are the one feeding their family, but all the time, any day of the training, they try all their possible best to come to the center and clean up and then wait for the teachers to come.
And we are so excited to be part of their lives, to donate sewing machines and also some money so that they can start business with.
Mun zo mun fara yanzu nakan taka nakan dinka. Na ce muku mun gode ku EMS aikin da kun doka alheri Ubangiji zai taimake ku kuma yanda kun doke na waya saboda gomraye. Mu ce bari Ubangiji ya saka muku da alheri.
Kokarin da suke yin a kai mu abun godiya abun farin ciki. Domin abun da suke mana ko an ce mu yi musu ba za mu iya ba.
It gladdens our hearts to see that these women are finding purpose, they are finding a sense of hope. They are seeing that they can actually make meaning out of their lives even after the demise of their husbands. And we're so excited to see that they are happy. And so we really want to appreciate HMK and also thank EMS of Ekwa for this great partnership that has been the reason why we're putting smiles on the faces of these widows.
So that was the intervention, that's the widows support by EMS. So Mr. Peter, you also talked about the agri support. What's that all about? Can you just talk about it?
Okay, we actually call it the self-help for farmers. We're helping the farmers to be self-reliant and self-sustaining, and that's what birthed the name. It's a known fact that these attacks happen in local communities where the people there are mostly farmers. So this intervention, unlike the previous one, that is just for women, this one covers both women and men who are farmers, and we provide. Usually, we provide fertilizer and also water pump machines for irrigation farming. And so the whole idea is to help you, economically, just build on what you already know, what you're used to. So you just find a boost. Some of these people were doing well with their farms. They have huge granaries that were burnt down. Some of them had bags of fertilizers that were burnt. We cannot even replace what they have lost, but this is just a little effort to support them so that they can start back. We had this intervention. The most recent one is the one in within Bokos too. Even though we had people from Bokos and also parts of Barikin Ladi who were beneficiaries of this particular intervention, and they came all the way to get those items. Some of them had some testimonies of how they have been borrowing. Some of them have been subjected to ridicule in the hands of their friends and neighbors because they are always coming to borrow water pumps, So this was a sort of relief for them. They are not just going to be full-time into their farming, but they have tools, inputs that will help them to do that without any feeling of fear or anything.
All right. So let's take a look at that also.
Da aka zo attack an ka kashe mutane mu aka kone mana gidaje da kayan mu.
An kone gida, an bar da yara uku lokacin da ciki zan haifi yaro na kudu.
An kone gidana. Abubuwa da dama ban cire wayansu abubuwan mu.
Mijina ba gaggawon shi har yau. Shi ya sa muna cikin rayuwa. An bar mu da yara muna fama.
An kashe mu gida sun da za su je sauro sai an biya an kashe su. Muna da yara uku.
We're here in Barkin-Ladi to commiserate with the people of this community, the Christians in this community who have been victims of repeated attacks in the hands of Fulani herdsmen for a couple of years now. And some few months even, some communities were attacked, and we're here to see the people who were affected, mostly the farmers.
We're praying that God will help us. I want the moon which can let it not come to us again. This is from HMK, EMS, Relief. Abun da mun kawo din nan roƙo na yanzu shine an yi amfani da su da kyau.
And so for many of these communities, they've been able to go back even after they have been displaced. But they need a means to survive because their sources of livelihood has been taken away from them. So what we had here is a self-help for farmers intervention where we provided fertilizers and also water pumps.
So da aka kokone kaya su wata fam namu duka ba mu da yanni za mu yi lemu sai dai ka nema aro ka samu aron ma ba kaya ka samu gurin wani ba. So ni dai inda na zo nan ina ce ma Allah na gode mashi inda na zo nan na samu kayan nan ina ce ma Allah na gode masa.
Don yanzu ba dan sha wahala neme injin ba. Anything na sa kaza yana son ruwa zan yi yadda zan je ban ruwa. Kudaden makarantun yara na daga lambun ne na samu zan biya musu bukata. Yanzu zai zama mun da sauki ba za mu sha wani wahala kuma ba.
Wayan abubuwan da an kawo gaskiya za su farfado da mu kuma yanzu. Dama na give up lambun da dama daya ne ma na yi amma taki ma yana gagarin ma yanzu.
Dama ba injin da ramu yi ban ruwa wani lokaci muna zuwan aro don mu yi ban ruwa. Mun gode ma Allah yau mun samu taimako bara mu je aron injin kuma ga take gaskiya wannan kungiyar Allah ya sa musu albarka.
Wannan taimakon da kun ba mu mun gode sosai.
Because again, most of the people do irrigation farming during the dry season. So we provided these items for them so that they can go back to their farms. And through their farms, they're able to get their lives back together. They're able to provide for their families and other dependents. And some of the farmers here are also widows. So this support is to help them economically and also to encourage their spiritual lives, their faith. we're extending the love of Jesus Christ to them, and we're telling them that there are other believers out there who are praying for them, who are concerned about them, and are also sending them help. So I want to specifically thank HMK for this general support, and also EMS of ECWA for partnering to see that the plight of the affected Christians in Nigeria, particularly in Plateau State, is being ameliorated, and then these people are finding succor and support to help them to sustain themselves even after this crisis.
That's beautiful to see that EMS is able to provide this kind of help to these people who have suffered much devastation in their communities. Thank you, Mr. Peter, for this important work that you're doing. We pray that God will continue to lead you in the ministry.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So viewers, we're going to go on another short break. When we come back, we'll take you to the second part of this program, which is also very, very interesting. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, we are in a village. What is the name of this village?
Siri Zurhu.
Siri
Zurhu.
Zurhu. This is in Bauchi State.
Yeah.
Between Bauchi and Warji.
Yeah, between Bauchi and
Jigawa. And Jigawa.
We are boundary with Jigawa.
Okay, so, you know, I recently introduced the One Big Donation. And I thank you all for coming and supporting the One Big Donation. We are 57% of our donation, and that is very incredible. This is what breaks my heart. Each time I come to a missionary's residence, and then from this house is the bush all the way, and then from this place behind the camera is all the bush. And then just looking at these conditions these guys are exposed to, my heart breaks. But I'm glad that we have people like him who can volunteer their lives to come and stay here. You can see his wife, and then he has his kids, and these people have made sacrifices. There is just nothing we can do other than to appreciate them. I'm not asking for much. All I'm asking is that they have their dues. What is due for them? Let's make it happen. They deserve it. It's not, if you even look at their pension liabilities and investment liabilities, is too meager. We just came from one missionary, and he gets a pension of 3,500 per month. The problem we have is that for the many of the missionaries, we can't even pay the 3,500 per month. And I don't know, that missionary is sick. His wife just needs 65,000 for a hearing aid, and she can't get it. And it breaks my heart. This is why we are doing this. I wish we can just step away from paying their bills and then looking at their welfare, where they stay, and how we can help their children. This is almost a state of hopelessness. For the sake of the gospel, I think we can do better.
Welcome back from the break. Now, in one of the previous episodes of Inside EMS, we brought you an interesting interview about two of our great supporters in EMS of ECWA, Baba Sila Turaki and his wife. Now, they are not just supporters, they have also been part and parcel of the ministry of the EMS of ECWA. Today, we are going to bring you the second part of this interview, where Baba and Mama will be telling us more about what they have done and what motivates them to support the EMS of ECWA.
Sunana Lydia Sila, yadda ni na karbi ceto, na ji bishara ne daga wurin matar mai bisharar mu da missionary sun je wa'azi da garmaho irin na daɗin nan. To suna ta wa'azi sai aka ce idan mutum bai tuba ba zai shiga wuta. In ka tuba ka biye so za ka samu rai. To sai ina jin bishara kullum suna zuwa mu suna waka da garmafo, sai ni ma ina kwaikwayo in suna yi in zan ci tuwo in ce bari in yi addu'a irin na Kirista. Zan je jikin randa zan zauna in ce bari in yi addu'a irin na Kirista. Sai abin yana shiga mini to sai sau ɗaya ruhu ya buga ni sai na yi shawara da wata ƙawata na ce ni fa zan je gidan turawan nan zan je tuba fa biye son nan domin wanda bai biye sa ba fa akwai hallaka. Sai ita ma ta ce ai so sai mu tafi duka. To sai muka shirya ranar da za mu zo. To ita kuma ta makara ba ta zo ba, ni kuma sai na gudu na taho na zo na gidan yayana yadda ya faɗa. Sai na ce to ni fa ina so in duba. Sai ta ce sam ai iyayenmu ba za ba ne ba don iyayena masafa ne ba musulun ba, masafa ne kuma suna da tsananin abin nan maharba ɗin. To sai suka ce to ba za su yarda in tuba ba. Yayan nawa ma ta ce wai ba za ta yarda ba don za a ƙi ni za a ƙi ta. So suka ƙi ni suka yi mini duka ka ji mini ciwo ma tukuna. Kaya su soke ni a ganin na gudu zuwa gidan turawa suka kulle ni kwana 3 ina kulle a gidan turawa sai ana bani abinci. Da dare za su zo su hau itace za su harbe ni domin na zama mai bin Yesu. Na ce ni ko za ku kashe ni ina son Yesu nan. To shine sai na ce ran Laraba na zo na karbi Yesu almasihu ya zama mai ceto ta hannun wata baturiya na mishinari. Sai na karbi sai na zo na karbi Yesu a lokacin da na karbi Yesu ban tsaya wasa ba. Duk komi za a yi za a tafi wa'azi ma zan bi su za a yi komi dai waƙoƙi ne komi in masu bishara za su je wa'azi za mu bi su in ana wa'azi bature yana wa'azi a kasuwa za mu zo muna bin shi muna wa'azi muna kasuwa. To abin ya shiga mini sosai. To yadda bishara ya shiga zuciya na yadda na ga mutane suna hallaka gashi kuma masu bishara sun yi kaɗan. To sai ni ma na ce to bari ni zan ba da kaina mu ma mu yi wannan aiki. To a takaice dai ba zan iya bi muku bi da bi ba amma ta dalilin wannan sai ni ma ina samu waɗansu suna tuba. 'Yan matan garinmu gaba ɗaya suka zo wai duka za su tuba. To a cikinsu an musu tsanani an duduke su ba su iya tsayawa ba sai guda 2 kawai suka tsaya. To guda 2 kan duka yanzu suna da mutane a cikin almasihu da yawa har sun yi jikoki ma. To ni bishara ya shiga zuciyana don haka ina ga darajar bishara ba kaɗan ba. Dalilin bisharar ne na ba da kaina na ce na bar aikin local government na yi shekara 22 a local government sai aka rasa masu yin koyarwar addini a addininmu. Sai na ce ni na ƙina sun zan zo in wannan suka ce ba biya fa. Na ce ko ba biya ne zan koyar da yaranmu. To aka tara mana yara mu 2 ni da wata za a tara yaran Kirista wajen 1000 fa za mu raba kanmu muna koyar da yaran nan wannan yana tarewa wannan yana koyarwa. To abin yana shiga na samu tsanani kaɗan ta wurin education secretary na baba wannan ne suka ce don me zan koyar da yara gashi ma ba a biya na ce ni ba zan ko ba biya ne zan yi. To sai ekwa ta ce a'a ko da shige tana ba da kanta tana yin wannan bishara a kyauta ya kamata ko abin gishiri kaɗan a bata. To sai suna ba mu 500 kowane wata su ba mu 500. Duk da haka muna karɓa da godiya muna yi da farin ciki. To yara suka yi ta tuba a makarantar suka yi ta tuba. To sai education secretary ya ji haushi ya ce don mene ne za a yi haka. Ni ban fasa ba sai suka fitar da mu a gindin itace wai ba za a ba mu class ba. Muna yi ruwa in ana ruwa ma muna nan a gindin itace mu rufe kanmu muna yi. To na ci gaba. To bishara ya shiga zuciya na tun da wuri ba kaɗan ba. In na ga mutum ya ba da kanshi yana aikin bishara ina goya mishi baya a ciki. Ina marmarin kuma waɗansu su ba da kansu. To don haka bishara ya shiga mini sosai a zuciya na. Ina ga darajar masu bishara. To da na zo ana aikin EMS na ce to ni EMS ko ina suke ni ba da kuɗi amma abin da nake da shi ko da kwabo ɗaya zan ba EMS in ba za su rena ba. To na ba da kaina. Da na zo muna yi a can sai transfer ya kawo ni nan gudu bayan da sun ji mana rauni a baya saboda sun kai mana attack a church suka ji mai dalilin raunin nan kenan faduwa ta kan katanga ne na faɗi na ji ciwo 94 shine na ji raunin nan na baya ban iya tsayawa haka ba yanzu to amma na ce duk da haka ko ta yaya in abin da nuna da shi ko kwabo ɗaya zan ba ems in ban ba su ba ma zan musu addu'a to wannan nasa a cikin raina to a takaice dai mun yi aure mishinari ne suka yi mana aure ma a cikin sauri ma don za su tafi ƙasarsu in sun tafi kuma ba fastoci a lokacin faston mu ɗaya to kuma sai shaidan ya jarabce shi ya yi aure biyu matar shi ta gudu sai ya yi wani aure to sai aka ce ba za a ɗaura aure ba in turawa sun tafi sai sun sake dawowa to ga shi kuma yan uwana suna tsananta mini na ce to sai a yi auren to na yi shekara 1 da rabi to kafin muka yi aure da baba wannan da muka yi aure sai aka ce to baba zai tafi ga goro na ce shikenan tafiya ya taddama je mu shikenan sai muka tafi ka goro na je nima na shiga bible school shi yana tc ne ina bible school to shi ya sa ni makarantar mu na da kaga ba turanci sau ɗaya ne a sati turanci ɗaya sau ɗaya a sati to a ɗayan ma ba mu ba da kai sosai ba muna ga kaman ba amfani sai hausa ne muna ta yi shine ta dalilin na ƙara samun ƙarfi ta bible school shine da muka gama muka koma gida shi ya sake komawa na biyu ban gama bible school din duka ba na yi shekara 2 sai muka koma gida shi zai koma na biyu aka ce ba albashi na ce to kai ka tafi ina da yara 4 ba zan yi tafi ba albashi ba ni zan yi noma kai ka je ka yi mana ka gama tisin sai ka dawo to duk da haka ina wurin kwai wani bible school a ƙauye ina zuwa muka shirya da wata zan riga zuwa ko da sau 2 a sati ina ƙoƙarin yi bible school don ni marmari na dai in samu in koyi maganin Allah in jawo waɗansu to a takaice dai abinda na san darajar aikin ubangiji ta dalilin wannan amma bishara na ta wurin garmafo ne na daɗin nan na ji bishara ta wurin to a takaice abinda zan iya gaya muku na sha wahala ba kaɗan ba an dudduke ne bayan nan ma dalilin bisharar ne wai ina koyar da yara a firamare shine suka ce bari a kashe ni to baban ma haka suka ɗauke shi za su yanka shi aka jefa da shi aka taka shi da takalmi to nawa dai raunin ne faɗuwa daga kan katanga ne don an kashe abinan sakataren church na dcc an kashe Sunday school mu kuma an fafasa kan fastoci wajen 12
irin akan yi jibi ran lahadi karshen wata
12 aka fafasa su to baba yana ɗaya daga cikin wanda suka ɗauke shi za a je a yanka shi to sai police sun fito sai suka jefa da shi suka tattaka shi da takalmi sai ne sai suka gudu to shine a takaice ne wannan na yi muku
to the church leadership since from 1962 at Garumaji SIM Church. Garumaji was founded in 1950. There were 2 places, Garumaji and Gadaka. Just as you say, wannan gidan adua a basu LCB. So Garumaji was given an LCB in 1950. Gadaka the same. So after marriage and when I came back from Kagoro, then there were no educated people to help the pastor. So I was almost the only person who can be able to lead the songs during the services or record the financial this thing, anything concerning church, write letters, so forth. So in 1962, I served as an elder in the church, because from pastor, Seni, so I became like a pastor, but I was out training, but my pastor was there. So we continued like that. Anything concerning leading the church services, I was the one, but he was the person preaching the sermon. So we went on like that. So during that time, then the EMS people began to appear there. But the first white missionary who came to our place to introduce EMS and New Life was Mr. Swank. He went to that place in our area, Kukar, Gadu, Gadumaje, Gadaka, and all this. Then he led us in, what shall I say, he explained to us what it means to be a missionary, what it means to go out to preach, and so forth and so forth. So he introduced us. Then, seeing with his eyes, he saw the need that there should be somebody sent to one village just adjacent to where we are to man the place. So he was sent under EMS. That was 1962. He was from Tangali. Is this Iliako? Pastor Iliya mutumin Kajene. Ba shi wancan da nake faɗi ba. So they sent a missionary there in that village. And I was the one who was supervising him, and people were visiting him and so forth. If he has any problem, I write a letter either to the headquarters or to my superior pastor, tell him that here is what this man is in. What do we do? Then when we discuss, if we see the need or what he needs, then we did our best to see that he is satisfied. So after some years, he left, and one person by name Nuhu Jabu from Bauchi South near Gar and so forth. So she come up to today. He write to us, we write to him. Sometimes in the night you will hear him ringing, and he will speak to me in my language because he was there for long. So he created a Gidang Adua in that village, and our women and young ones do visit him. Sometimes 4 or 5 people will go and have service with them, come back and so forth. So from there, I was I've been known with the EMS missionaries. the first person to meet was me. Because up to the time when I was made a delegate to our DCC, so anything like that coming, when our DCC will talk about, it was through me that they will they will work. If they want to inform the headquarters, also just as the EMS coordinator, I was not really a coordinator, but since I make the contact between him and the churches there or the headquarters. So up till 1971, when Bauchi Borno were created, the DCC Bauchi Borno, Bauchi ne headquarters. Now Borno got its own, Bauchi got it. So I was a delegate in October 71. We separated. Bauchi became on its own. Borno became its own headquarters at Patoskum, though it is Borno. So by then, the EMS continued to be spreading from village to village. We see the need somewhere. We'll say, to wannan wuri ya fi wancan bukatan mai wazi, bari kai evangelist, bari za mu kai ka can ka bude wurin. That's what I used to do. I became like coordinator, but I was not there anyway. Since babu masu ɗan ilmi ko marmari, akwai waɗanda suka fi ni ilmi amma suna can kukar gado nesa da wuri. To don haka ni ne na zama kaman coordinator a anything suna so kansanin wancan evangelist ɗin za su zo wajena, ko mu je mu ziyarce shi da ni, ko kuwa haɗa su da wani su je. At the same time na aiki na makaranta. So ina da zarafi mu je da ni, in ba ni da zarafi, the visitors will go to visit that person. So how I was there, I became our new DCC treasurer of Borno, and my first two at Garumaje became the chairman and the treasurer. I am the treasurer, became the chairman. So after the real election took place, he bai wuce ba, sai aka ce to kai ne treasurer, aka zaɓe ni a DCC. So the secretary to the DCC, it happened that he got admission UK. No secretary. Sai aka ce to, kai ne secretary kuwa yanzu kai ne treasurer. I continued with that work up to 1985. When we had our jubilee na kafuwar ekwa a ƙasarmu na can. A new emirate was created in Yobe. So, as an old teacher, sai aka they made one of the oldest teacher who taught from 1929 to we met. We were co-workers and we know each other. So they made him to be the emir. So when they made him to be an emir, he was looking for somebody to work with as his treasurer. So he talked with his majalisa. They said, if you want a person to take care of that area, call Wani. So they mentioned my name. And they sent for me to come. When I came, he said, Wani, we are very glad to have this emirate. But management, we are short of experienced people. So we thought you could be able to do that. That's why I want you to be my treasurer. I said, I have never attended any course concerning financial management. How shall I keep the emirate money? What are you saying? You are a headmaster. You paid your teachers. Can't you pay the workers under emirate? I said, I can. Can't you write the money that we got? I said, I can. Can't you write the money we spent? I can. I said, oh, from today you are my treasurer. You are the emirate treasurer, not mine. I am the emir, but I have majalisa. So you are the treasurer. And he introduced me from 1993 to 2013 when I left. Even when I left, I was here, but for 2 or 3 good years. The financial aspects is with me. The checks, everything. If they want to withdraw money, they have to come here, get the check signed by me, and with countersigned with his PA. So I said, well, what brought me here, I think you know.
That was Baba and Mama Silas talking about their experience in missions. Now, I'm personally touched by their story and their testimony. Now, having endured all this and despite their old age, they are still staunch supporters of missions. So I'm just thinking, what more of you who, you're strong, you're able-bodied, and then you're not supporting EMS? Why do you not support our efforts to propagate the gospel? I'm sure that many people, just like me, are touched by this story. And if you wish to support EMS to propagate the gospel to the unreached, you can do so by praying for EMS. You can do so by donating to EMS through the account details that are displayed on the screen. Thank you. It is on this note that we draw the curtain on today's episode of Inside EMS. Stay tuned same time next week for another interesting package of the program. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles at EMS of Equa. For now, Thank you and goodbye.